I do not remember there being a path in this place the last time we came.
The researchers must have cleared this passage. If we follow it, we should find it.
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrived right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for... We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became even worse.
Were they also written by Saint Matthias?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed to decipher. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something our brother cannot accept. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to fetch some help. 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the hardships we would encounter. I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being disingenuous does not help.
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much of a risk. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarming the area.
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information, but you understand that I will also have to talk to Brother Virgil.
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both before you can make a decision.
Brother Virgil.
What do you want?
Can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets, without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matthias, but their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. It was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here.
There aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are not fighters. And they have better things to do than roam around their camp at night.
We have been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages bring us since our departure. We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well. I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And, in any case, it is not what matters the most. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I can only commend you for your bravery and wish you luck. But I would not get my hopes up. You should start by searching the excavation site. To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that roam the area are ruthless.
This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace. And it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body show that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death.
Poison on my blade. Then let's go! Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fight!
The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he had died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it's impossible to know who was wielding it.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
These fang marks are impressive. The poor man didn't have a chance. He must have been attacked by a large reptile. Most likely a Lowolan. But what was he doing alone so far from camp? It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
The deaths of these people were a deception. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to do such a thing. They kill each other and accuse my people. This Virgil, he wants to push aside this woman at all cost. He must be the culprit.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's
Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency! Weren't you supposed to be looking for our colleagues?
Indeed. I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
Watch your tongue, priest. Our people have no need to hide when they protect their land. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to disguise a death.
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. But know that my cause is righteous. The Ordo Luminis sent me to keep an eye on this expedition, to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize our nation or our presence on this island. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy, a dangerous manipulation. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the teachings of the natives? But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries as truth. without any hesitation, without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it. So yes, I wanted to scare her.
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go as far as assassinating several of your colleagues...
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the congregation? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. You may have already done so. But since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince Eugenia to go back to Eden. My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be rewarded, of course.
This Renaigse tried to blame my people for these crimes. The priests would have wanted to punish them, and innocent people would have died. He must answer for his treachery.
Sorry, Brother Virgil, but I cannot accept. You will take your belongings and leave this place. The research will continue, and their discoveries will be studied by wiser people than you. The decision to reveal them or not will be theirs.
I see. My colleagues and I will go back to Eden. I hope that you don't regret your decision.
Alas, I have found the dead bodies of your colleagues.
How horrible! But how? Oh, perhaps I should have listened to Brother Virgil.
I doubt it. Brother Virgil is responsible for these deaths. He was hoping to blame the natives for them and discredit you.
What? But why would he? He will have to answer for his crimes.
As I do not have the authority to arrest him, I sent him back to Eden. If you want him to face judgment, you will have to report what happened to the Mother Cardinal.
You are right. As soon as we get back to civilization, I will make sure that she hears about it. Once more, your help has been a blessing. Take this. Alas, we will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but a single step in St. Matthias's journey. The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further up in the swamp. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we are not sufficiently well equipped to go there.
We could go there for you if you wish. You just have to tell us where to look.
That would be marvelous. Of course, you would have to start from the excavation site where he wrote this. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Look for any traces of life. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writings. That would be fantastic.
Don't worry. I will conduct this research and come find you here if I uncover anything.
We should rummage through this area. If someone lived here, it must have been in a drier place.
Watch out, Kanadai!
A bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fight! this fate!
No magic. Drink a potion.
Take a potion if you want to cast more spells. Let's see if you can ward off this fate!
No magic. Drink a potion. Unwounded, I need help.
Take a potion if you want to cast more spells. Let's see if you can ward off this fate! Let's see if you can ward off this fate!
Look at this cave. It is a good place for an old man to settle.
Some people have lived, but we will have to look further if we want to find a bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Bit of poison on my blade. Let's go!
This is a cave of knowledge, or at least it looks like one. The old man must have been exceptional to be able to live in such a place.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen. This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest getting his face painted by a masked native. Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. There are some native symbols here, and some letters I recognize. as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Men duis dat, enon mil frictamen.
It means, welcome us amongst your people. Enon mil frictamen.
This is incredible. Saint Matthias would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him. It looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago, and it undeniably comes from the continent. I seem to recall that Saint Matthias is almost always depicted using a similar rosary. I don't know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of the same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors.
I cannot believe it. These symbols, they are signs used in the secret writing of the Donegada. So that's what it was. The priest's old sage became a Donegad. I don't think that they'll be happy about that. And yet, it could bring peace. These be able to burn our people and our guardians.
Why is he not depicted wearing the marks of the Donegada?
It was a very long time ago. Magic had not yet been given to us by Enon Mil Frichteman.
I wonder what I should do with these relics. Eugenia probably didn't imagine that Saint Matthias lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will certainly cause a schism in Theleme.
I know how difficult keeping some secrets can be, and this one is huge. It could lead to peace with the natives, as much as it could lead to a civil war.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be seen as treason. I'll think about it on the way there. Let's go back to the researchers' camp.
So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
There were also frescoes on the site, representing Saint Matthias.
Frescoes? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
He was shown having his face painted by a native. On the other, he prayed to a god of the mountain.
You can't be serious. You mean to say that our saint converted to the cult of the islanders?
That is what emerges from our findings, yes. Other objects that I was able to bring back also point in this direction. Look, there are inscriptions. These tablets and also this chaplet.
This chaplet? I cannot believe it. It is so... Excuse me. I cannot find the words to express how I feel. You must come with me. We must go and present all these discoveries to the Mother Cardinal. You realize our entire dogma will have to change. So far, anyone who wanted to question it would have burned their fingers. Literally, alas.
And you think that this time they'll listen?
We have solid proof. All this evidence. With your support, we will convince her to reveal the truth.
I see. I will do my best to help you.
It seems we are arriving right on time. You did well to warn us, Brother Virgil.
Virgil? How did you know?
I'm afraid that your Excellency's lies weren't very convincing.
We were informed of your discoveries and of the danger they represent. We demand that you hand them over to us immediately, so that they can be destroyed.
How can you even suggest the destruction of relics written by the hand of our founder?
Out of love for our dogma, for our faith, and for our nation. But since you refuse to comply with our orders, you leave us no choice.
Death to the heretics!
Bit of poison on my blade.
Let's go!
Let's see if you can ward off this fate. Bit of poison on my brain.
Then let's go!
Take a potion if you want to cast more spells.
I cannot believe that I just fought my own brothers in faith. The fact that the Inquisition is after us is very disturbing, Excellency.
We would do well to hasten to San Mateus. They will not dare to attack you there. And we will have to take care of Bishop Domitius. He will do everything he can to discredit us.
You are right. All this proves is that I will not succeed without your help. There is a risk that the Mother Cardinal will also reject our discoveries.
And I could bring Petrus with me. He will surely find the words to convince her.
That would be most helpful. Father Petrus is renowned for his eloquence. In any case, we must present our research to Mother Cardinal as soon as possible. I will study the tablets one last time to make sure I know all their content, and I will meet you at the palace in San Mateus to plead our case.
Understood. See you soon, Sister Eugenia. Be careful.
Closer. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to have a rummage around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. Goodbye. May the enlightened always keep you.
Ah, Your Excellency. We were eagerly awaiting your arrival. Sister Eugenia was just recounting me the tale of your achievements and telling me about the incredible discoveries you've made.
These relics shed a new light on the last years of our founder. It all demonstrates that he hadn't evangelized the islanders, but, on the contrary, he would even have adopted some of their rituals, merging the cult of the enlightened and the cult of nature in a single dogma.
These discoveries, if they can be verified, are extraordinary. But they also represent a great upheaval that could harm our nation. We must first verify their authenticity. You are the only ones who entered this cave. Could what you have witnessed been a falsification?
We discovered ancient frescoes on the walls of the cave. They represent Saint Matthias without a doubt. He is depicted with his chaplet. In one, he is praying for the divinity of the island. In the other, his face was being painted by a native. I understand how shocking these discoveries are, but their antiquity proves that they are genuine.
The tablets found at the site, however, attest that our founder had not abandoned the cult of the enlightened. He simply saw it as two different reflections of the same divine power.
The entrance to the cave was protected by one of those giant creatures that the natives call a Nardaig. These guardians usually protect sacred places and let no one enter without a fight. I had to kill this beast, which leads me to think that nobody had entered the cave for a very long time. The cavern we discovered is located in a very remote place. There is no island or village nearby. It contains some ruined dwellings, but clearly no one has lived there for a very long time. Fraudsters would inevitably have left traces of their passage, and we have not found any.
The relics could be authentic, Your Excellency, but we only have your word to convince us. The political and religious impact of these discoveries will be unprecedented. We risk schism, civil war, and who is to say that this is not a plan to weaken us?
It seems that you only see the negative aspects of this discovery, but the reality is very different. By integrating some of the natives' beliefs into your dogma, you could build an alliance with them. Something no other nation has managed to achieve before.
What good is such a reproach if our nation has fallen into chaos?
Your Eminence, all of this is grotesque and dangerous. The congregation is clearly trying to ridicule us. Even if these frescoes are real and old, who's to say they represent reality? This is surely the naive vision that the islanders had of our founder, nothing more. Our duty is to bury all this in order to preserve our nation from the heretical beliefs of the savages.
You were so eager to bury our discoveries that you were ready to bury us with them. A group of the Ordo Luminous attacked us while we prepared to come here.
Really? Your Eminence, I assure you that I had no idea. We would never harm a diplomat. It was probably the desperate action of an overly fervent group. But, alas, it is a fair reflection of what will happen if these discoveries are made public.
You are responsible for the members of the Ordo Luminous on this island, Domitius. I am counting on you to ensure that this kind of act never happens again.
Your Eminence, we are faced with a crucial choice for our nation. What does a man of faith do in such a dilemma? He prays and places his trust in the one who came before him and has shown more wisdom. Saint Matthias shows us a new way. If we are believers, can we really turn our backs on him?
You surprise me, Petrus. You who are always so political. Yet your words seem sincere. You give me something to think about. Thank you. Does anyone wish to add anything?
I understand your doubts about the future that will inevitably be caused by such a revelation. You hesitate just as St. Lucius did to tell us about the journey of his master. Yet he revealed what he knew, and his words still guide Theleme today.
Thank you for your testimony. I will now retire to think about everything and make my decision. After much thought, I have decided it best to silence these dangerous discoveries. Our nation cannot risk civil war.
But, Your Eminence, this research...
I have made my decision. Your research must end immediately.
I cannot keep the secret of what I discovered. The world must know.
It would be a shame to hear that our most distinguished theologian was arrested for heresy, my dear.
Very well, Your Eminence.
Your Excellency, I cannot deny the importance of the help you have given us, and I am grateful for it. And I hope I can count on your discretion. It would be a shame for our relationship with the congregation to suffer due to questionable allegations.
Of course, Your Eminence.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate! Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Potion is used to cast more spells.
Do it. What are you doing? Who let you pass?
Your men. We are here to parley with your chief.
Parley? With Renaigse? You truly believe that...
Leave this to me. I want to know what they have to say. I know you, Renaigse. It is you who freed the lion prisoners. And to do that, you spilled the blood of my own brothers and sisters.
We seek a cure for my people. That is why I liberated the sages, and it is the reason I am here. I am fully committed to finding this cure, even if violence must be employed.
Well, don't hold back for my sake.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! I need healing. Let's see if you can ward off this fate.
Enough! You are defeated. But I am not here to take your lives. Where is the Mistress of Wisdom? I will keep the secret for myself. Neither the Bridge Alliance nor anyone else will learn it from me.
I hope you speak with truth. You will find the Tiernahach Kadachtas in the village of Vigshardir, to the northeast of this camp. Now leave us. And do not betray your word.
Good day. My name is Desarde. Would you be the Voglendyke of the Mistress of Wisdom?
Bir tirtumad, Renaigse. Yes, I among us. What are you doing here in this sacred village?
Do you know where I might find the Mistress of Wisdom?
The Tiernahach Kadachtas? I regret. She is not here.
Do you know where she might be found?
I am sorry, but I will not tell her an Renaigse stranger to us. Your kind has many who bend the truth to their desires. Some of them tried to capture her. You need to prove to us that we can trust you.
Sure. Tell me what I could do.
You could help me find the sacred seal that I lost. This would prove a little. It is a sacred stone that my mistress asked me to study and meditate with. I had it with me when I was going to the river, but I was suddenly attacked. Of course, the animals left me alone in the end. But I dropped the seal in my flight. I would gladly go and look for it, but I am alone in the village, waiting for the Tierna Hakadaktas. And what with the preparations and the great hunt, I cannot leave at this time.
I see. I'm going to look near the river and see if I can find it.
Thank you, Renaise.
Could you help us remember where you lost the seal you were looking to recover?
On the edge of the village, near the river. That is where I dropped it when the wild animals came and chased me away.
Thank you. I'm going to see if I can find it. I must leave. Ongos.
What do you want, Renaise?
I found your seal. It was indeed near the river.
My heart thanks you. You are a Renaise like no other. The Tierna Hakadaktas would have been angry if I had lost it. The Tierna Hakadaktas went into the sacred bosque. She goes often there to meditate.
And where could I find this bosque?
To the west of the village, into the heart of the woods. There is a passage between the rocks that gives access. Be wary. This is an untamed place where the animals are wild and numerous.
I must leave.
poison on my blade.
Take a potion if you want.
You are not welcome here tonight.
I regret troubling your rest. My name is Disarday. I am a legate of the Congregation of Merchants.
Mev, daughter of Morrigan, daughter of Cardwin. What is a legate? And what could he want from me?
I am an emissary. A representative of my nation. I've come to speak to you about a cure.
Of what cure do you speak? You do not show signs of sickness.
I'm not. But on our continent, many people are dying from a terrible plague. We have named the sickness the Malachor. And none of our doctors have been able to heal anyone taken ill. We have heard talk from some of your people of a cure that is so powerful that it can heal almost anything. You would be...
Tierna Hachkedachtas, forgive this affront. His face resembles ours, but he does not know our customs. But his intentions are pure. He truly seeks a remedy for his people.
And what is a Donegad of our people doing with these invaders? What do you seek in their company?
Understanding, Tierna, and to learn for the good of our people.
You truly think there is anything the Renaigse could teach of any value? They come here to rape our lands, as did those who came before them long ago.
This miraculous cure that we've heard talk of, could you share the formula with us?
You are either completely crazed or foul liars. None of this makes sense.
But
Enough! I have lost enough time with your lies and your foolish thoughts. I do not know what you truly want from me. But I will not be used like some puppet.
Put a poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you're more of this fight.
These roots are so interwoven and taut that it's impossible to get through them. There is residue. It looks as if something had been placed here. She passed through here, there's no doubt about it. But how was she able to get past these roots? This stone stele has something to do with the entry of the grotto. But how? This is obviously island magic. Some sort of ritual. The roots must open if one places the proper offering on the altar stone. I wonder if Ongos, the Voglandike, will know how this works.
Were you able to meet the Tierna Kadaktas?
Yes, but to my grave disappointment, she fled before I could expose my arguments.
Yes, many strangers have tried to capture her many times. She must have decided you were one of them.
I'm once again in need of your assistance. I must take the passage blocked by a door of roots.
You had the honor of speaking with my mistress. If she chose to follow the sacred passage, then it is that she had nothing more to say to you. Why would I share with you the understanding of the ritual that protects her?
Listen, I was able to meet the Tierna thanks to you, but I haven't the slightest clue why she fled in the middle of our conversation. I sincerely believe that there was a misunderstanding. You know that I mean her no harm. If I were simply given a chance to explain, I'm certain that she would understand.
You must feed the offering ward to enter into the passage and meet her once again.
I need to place a seed on the stone stele, don't I?
Yes, you must make this offering. I cannot tell you from which plant it is given, but there is a chance there are more in her dwelling. I will let you enter this one time, but treat her dwelling with respect, I ask you.
Thank you for your help.
Do not be so eager to thank me. The place you enter is ripe with dangers. As do all sacred places, it defends itself with the wild beasts that it fosters. This passage leads to a forest where the ancestors of the Tierna Kadaktas makes her home.
And why should I fear the ancestor?
Have stories of the Nadaig been shared with you? In your language, you would call them guardians.
Yes. I even encountered one. She was magnificent.
Then you know of what I speak.
I must leave. This looks like a collection of skulls from various animals. I wonder what purpose they serve.
These skulls symbolize the animals. Through some rituals, we greet them. We thank them for feeding and dressing us, so that the next hunting season, they will once again give us the weak amongst their herds.
All of this is extremely interesting, but alas, it won't help me open the root passage. This plant looks familiar. I saw some not far from here. Unfortunately, it's lost its seeds. All these crushed plants and these powders. She must have been preparing a potion. It might be the miraculous remedy. To be so close and yet to have no idea what to do with all this. All of this is extremely interesting, but alas, it won't help me open the root passage. This bark is covered with little symbols. It looks like some sort of writing, though I've been led to believe the natives have no written language.
The Donegada use these symbols amongst themselves, and only they understand their meaning. It is a secret and sacred language. I cannot reveal to you what the bark contains without breaking my bond.
Can you at least tell me if they speak of a passage? A seed?
No. I would have told you.
I don't see any seeds here. The only clue we have is this plant. Let's try to find some other flowers. It might be their seed that opens the passage. all these flowers. Perhaps this is where the Tiernahak Kadactus finds the seeds that we're looking for.
Perhaps, but...
These flowers are similar to those we found in the dwelling of the Tiernahak, and they bear seeds.
Those are the offering seeds we need to open the root passage. We should go try them.
It is truly pastoral. Seeds, knotted roots. Oh, how I miss the ocean.
We have what we need. Let's go back to the stone stele. And there.
It looks very ancient. I wonder what treasures it contains.
Be respectful. We are in a sacred passage, which is for initiation and meditation.
We did not come to defile this place, and we do well to hurry. The Tiernahak Kadactus is quite a head start.
A bit of poison on my brain, and let's go! Poison on my brain. Let's see if you can ward off this potion if you want to cast your spells.
There's a chasm here. The Tiernahak Kadactus is agile. She must have jumped over it.
I'm sure we can jump over it too.
Put a portion on my blade. And let's go! Someone went through here. In fact, I think I can see several different tracks.
I hope she didn't hide in this forest. Finding her here would be quite troublesome.
It is an ancient and holy forest. A powerful place. There must be a Nadai here. We should be careful.
We didn't want this fight. Why? Why?
In order to capture and extract from her what we need. To examine her. Dissect her, if necessary. You have done us a great service, guiding us directly to her.
Are you saying that...
Even if the creature has concocted some remedial potion, it is not the song we came for, but the bird. She leads the sorcerers of this island. She knows how they transform, and from where their powers originate. Our scientists think that the remedy is there, in their pseudo-magic, and in their mutation. Thank you for bringing her to us, and ridding us of the monster.
Do you think I'm going to allow you to manipulate me?
I don't think anything. Apologies, Excellency. But you are going to die tragically from a stray bullet intended for the monster.
Bit of poison on my blade.
Mercy, Your Excellency, I surrender. How dare you ask for mercy after attempting an assassination? After revealing your conspiracy to me? You deserve nothing less than death.
I will not go down without a fight.
Bit of poison on my blade.
Let's go! Tianahak? She is unconscious. We need to bring her back to her village. She needs to be tended to. We should leave right away. Is she going to survive?
Yes, she will heal. They were not shooting to kill her. And we are resistant, you know. The bond empowers us. It gives us the vigor of animals. The resilience of trees. It's undoubtedly for that reason that your alliance is so interested in us. Tianahak, he does not mean to harm you. Please, let me...
What do you want from me, Ranaikse?
We were manipulated by the Alliance. We had no idea that they sought to capture you. We believed their fable of a miraculous remedy. We killed the man that wounded you. He will hunt you no longer. And their governor will have explaining to do.
I suppose I should thank you for having pulled me from their claws and bringing me here. And to have crushed the life out of a few of these parasites. There is indeed a remedy. But I doubt that I can do anything against this sickness that you describe. I don't know it. And I don't see how I could create a remedy that would heal it.
Perhaps you could try. We are desperate.
This remedy was prepared for a precise purpose. To heal those who escaped the claws of the Alliance. These monsters capture the Sinol Menoi and torture them, bleed them, put things in their veins. Those that do escape are in such agony that our care and comfort are not enough to mend them. That's why I made this remedy. Not for your Malikor. My people have never fallen prey to such sickness.
How can you be so sure? Perhaps it's your tremendous resistance that protects you from the sickness.
Perhaps. Enon Mil Frictimen protects us all.
Enon Mil Frictimen?
God of 1,000 faces in your tongue. The one and many who protects us and our island. They and we are tied and bound, as they are tied and bound to you. Their generosity to our people is infinite. but the crimes of the Renaigse enrage it. After all, perhaps your Malikor is their vengeance.
This is strange. The two tracks that we followed have led us to the same name. Enon Mil Frictimin.
The god of 1,000 faces. But I don't believe he is the origin of your sickness. He protects us. He watches over us.
Precisely. We know that the congregation came to this island long ago, a lot longer than we first thought. The Malakor could be a consequence of that first attempt to colonize. A curse cast at that epoch, brought back by the first defeated colonists. After all, is it not also the origin of the first guardians of the native legends? Either way, one thing is certain. If there is something, or someone on this island powerful enough to heal the Malakor, it is certainly him. We need to bring this news back to Constantine. Even if we don't have a remedy yet, he'll be happy to know that we've made progress.
My dear cousin, come closer and tell me what brings you...
Allow me to present Afra, an emissary of the Bridge Alliance. She is an eminent naturalist who studies local flora in an effort to find a remedy.
Your Excellency, it is a great honor.
You were part of Governor Buren's lost expedition, if I've understood correctly, were you not?
Yes, and our research would have borne fruit if it hadn't been so brutally interrupted.
I can only imagine. Nevertheless, you are most welcome. Your great learning will certainly prove useful. I implore you, my dear cousin. Do continue. We are eager to hear your news.
I wanted to inform you of our progress made in the attempt to discover a cure. As you advised, I followed the leads shared by our allies, none of which led anywhere. However, they both pointed in the same direction, towards a sort of god that the natives worship. They call him En-on-Mil Frictiman, the god of many faces. He is very powerful and protects the island.
How can you be sure that it's not some sort of myth? Even a superstition?
I saw it with my own eyes take shape during a ritual. It is possible that the Malakor is the expression of its vengeance.
You are referring to the secret we unearthed. The entire continent is paying today for the errors of our grandparents. It is a terrifying perspective.
But if it were true, he must also be able to help us heal.
Princess, could you shed some light on this being? Is it possible to meet him?
All the Doneigada know him. He is the strength, the spirit of Tirfredi. You were looking for a demon or a remedy from plants, so I did not think of him. But yes, He is very powerful and as old as our world. He could surely heal your sickness. But it is not simple to meet him. Impossible, I would think. Though it is not my place to judge, you need to earn the trust of Glendan, the Elder of the Council. Ask him for his help. He lives in the village of Dorchad Genadu. It is in the heart of our island, at the entrance to our most sacred lands.
Thank you for your help, Princess. I will not forget the numerous services you have provided for us. And thank you, dear cousin, for everything.
Come closer, good people. Make your head
You'll find all you need. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to see you again. Have you seen anything to your like? Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Desarde, what can I do for you?
I've explored many ruins on this island, ruins that after careful scrutiny were built by the congregation. In one of them we found a journal that made reference to your guild. This document, as are the buildings, date much further back than the arrival of the Bridge Alliance a decade ago. These discoveries raise a good many questions, questions that my cousin would like you to answer.
I understand. All the same, we are in a difficult situation. We are bound by the pact. I could eventually overlook these engagements if you would perform a service. Commander Fernando, who holds the port of San Mateus, has problems with certain members of Theleme. The bishop that accompanies you on occasion could without a doubt tell you more.
I won't hesitate to speak to him about it.
Solve these problems, and I will reconsider the validity of the pact. I will answer your questions. Anything else?
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral.
Deward.
Hello, my name is Desarde. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. May I enter?
Good day, Legate Desarde. No, this building is closed to Renaigse.
I am Siora, daughter of Bladne, daughter of Meb. My mother, the Mal of the Red Spears, was a member of the council.
All here remember, and the Vorst Tirse. She was a courageous Mal, but you are not yet Mal in her stead, and you do not carry her seal. I am sorry, Siora. I cannot allow you to enter.
I beg your pardon. I did not know.
If I cannot enter, perhaps you could tell the Elder of the Council that I request an audience.
Glendon cannot speak with you, Legate. Times are difficult, and his time is precious. He only accepts to meet the members of the Council or their representatives.
How can I prove that I am the representative of one of them?
If you are a trusted friend of a Council member, he will give you his seal, and we would know it. I will then be glad to allow you to enter. You would be the first Renaigse to obtain such an honor.
I will return later.
If you have a seal, you will be welcome. If not, you are wasting your time and mine.
My dear child, what can I do for you?
I had a meeting with Admiral Cabral concerning what we found in those ruins. She said she was bound by a pact that kept her from answering questions on the subject.
The Nauts are nothing more than mercenaries of the oceans. I suppose that she wants something in exchange.
Effectively. She told me that her men posted at San Mateus met with some problems. And she advised me to speak to you. Does that make sense?
I believe I see what the Admiral is speaking about. Or rather, who. A few of our zealous brothers are overcome by their faith. You already witnessed it for yourself at San Mateus. They look with a wary eye at all those who do not swear faith to Theleme, and refuse to express their faith openly. It is possible they have decided to target the Nauts. We will need to speak with those on Theleme lands. And, of course, seek out the Bishop Domitius.
I'll see you later, Father.
Take care, my child.
What do you want from me, my son?
Sir de Sardet, emissary of the congregation.
Ah, the congregation still has the uncanny gift of surprising us. I am Bishop Domitius. I represent the Ordo Luminous on the island. What can I do for you?
I believe you have a few problems with the Nauts who reside in the port.
We have problems with all matter of heretics, my son. And of course the pagan Nauts would be among them. They are very secretive, and have all sorts of strange rituals that they keep to themselves under cloak of mystery. The sorcery they employ to guide their ships is drawn from nature, just like the sorcery used by the natives. And to top it all off, and this is where it stings, we suspect them to be at the origin of the Malachor.
Whatever do you mean? How?
Have you ever once crossed paths with a Naut suffering from the blood plague? Why are they spared? The only logical reason is that they are at its origin, calling upon various cursed rituals. It's as simple as day. I am certain that we will find clues of their rituals and their pagan idols in their stockhouses in the port.
What a nest of absurdities.
What other reaction would you expect from those responsible for the curse that afflicts us?
Very well. Let's just agree that these rumors need to be verified.
Anything else?
May the Enlightened bless you.
Closer. Lucas. Don't... Goodbye. May the Enlightened...
Hello, sir. You are from the congregation, are you not?
Indeed. Desarde. Your admiral has sent me here.
Pleasure. You may call me Fernando. I am the port commander here. What might I do for you?
Your admiral informed me that you've been having problems with a few citizens of Theleme. What more can you tell me?
Problems, huh? We're up to our necks and sinking with problems. Yeah, I even received threats to my own person. One of those high and mighty long robes dared walk upon my docks with talk of burning me at the stake. Burning me? Then two of my men up and disappeared, and I do not believe in coincidence. I wanted to ask for help from the Mother Cardinal, but she did not answer my requests for an audience. The games of politics are not my forte, and investigations even less so. Find my men. I implore you. More questions?
Thanks. I've got everything I need.
Fernando and the Admiral are clear.
Good day, Desarde.
I met the representative of the Ordo Luminis, and he spoke of his fears concerning...
Hardly surprises me. That man is full of pride and arrogance, and sees evil wherever he gazes.
That bishop is not made of milk and kindness, but his questions are intriguing. He suspects you to be somehow responsible for the Malachor because you never fall prey to it.
Responsible for the Malachor? And how?
Through your magic. Some sort of ritual. Do you use a magic very similar to that of the natives?
I have nothing more to say about it. Those are merely the fantasies of a lunatic. More questions?
Thanks. I've got everything I need. The commander will probably not tell us anything more about the Nauts' secrets. But the documents at the Harbour Master's office may teach us something new. If we can stay discreet. This note speaks of a secret hangar. We should investigate, even though it's sure to be well guarded. That way we'll know exactly what the Nauts are hiding from us.
I can assure you we're not hiding anything, Reverend. But if you absolutely want to check it out for yourself,
Good day. I'm looking for several sailors. Some Nauts that disappeared a few days ago.
Sorry, that doesn't ring any bells. But I did hear talk like everyone else on the port, but that's all. You should ask the Mage Inquisitors who have taken up lodgings here of late. They must have certainly seen something. We see them everywhere, and they spend their time spying on all that moves, especially eyeing all that the Nauts are up to.
And what do these Mage Inquisitors look like?
They wear a very peculiar symbol.
We cannot question all the Inquisitors roaming around the island. Especially considering what we've learned from Domitius. They must be doing everything in their power to discover the... Good day. I'm looking for 2 men, Nauts, that went missing a few days ago. Do you know anything about them?
Why? As a matter of fact, I do. 3 or 4 days ago, I was at the tavern having a conversation with a sailor. A nice fellow. He was telling these stories. He was drinking hard. He went outside for a moment to... you can imagine. And well, he never came back. He wasn't that drunk to have passed out. If it were that, we would have found him. No. Something happened to him. That's a fact. But I would be at a loss to tell you what.
If one of the sailors disappeared as he came out of the tavern, that is where we should go. If we find Inquisitors there, they'll certainly know more than the ones we see here. I've already seen this type of engine in my uncle's court. It's used to spy upon the stars.
These objects are called sextants. Looking at the heavens through them, we can determine and track precisely the course of our ships.
Nothing magic nor impure therein. They're nothing but measuring instruments. These machines are extremely complex. I've never seen anything like this. Oh. This one looks like it has a shouting dolphin etched into its side.
I wouldn't begin to know how this one works. It's a new model, invented recently. It's designed to measure the depths of the oceans. It's extremely useful.
And that? It looks like a thermometer. And this other machine, does it really predict the weather?
The second instrument is a barometer, and it does indeed predict where the weather is going to be. Nothing magic in it either, I can tell you that.
These instruments are incredible, and I would be hard-pressed to use them. But I certainly see nothing magic in here. Nor anything diabolical. For as long as they work and are really used, these instruments seem to be the product of science. And I've definitely found nothing related to the Malachor, nor a secret sect or cult. This Domitius has let his imagination and the taste of Naught's secrets get the best of him.
I don't think you realize the importance of what you have just seen. These instruments allow us to dominate the oceans and discover new worlds. Keeping this secret has enabled us to remain the only ones capable of navigating the high seas.
Everyone just thinks you use a magic of your own.
We were the ones that spread that rumor. It harms our reputation, but protects us from competition.
And this story about the Malachor?
I have no way to explain why we don't catch it, but we're not responsible for it. I truly hope you'll reveal nothing of what you've discovered in this place.
The Ordo Luminous was completely wrong. We must find these missing Nauts. We're approaching the tavern.
If we want to eavesdrop on conversations, we should be discreet.
When are we going to act? Our men are twiddling their thumbs, and that's bad for their morale. Let's not even speak about the guards at the prison. Who likes having clandestine prisoners in their jails?
You are impatient. We haven't been able to get out of them what we need to hear, but it won't be long. Then we can act, and launch the grand purification of the Nauts. While waiting, keep your men on a leash, especially those in the jails. If the Mother Cardinal learns that you are detaining Nauts in a cell in your barracks...
We'll be in muddy waters. But then you will too. No need to remind me.
They're gone. I cannot believe that these lunatics dared capture some of my brothers to interrogate. We must set them free from the Coin's jail as soon as possible. As for this talk of purification, it gives me shivers. Halt! You have no authority to go any further.
Very well. Let's just say I'm going to have to break my way in.
Why must this sort of thing happen when I'm the one on guard duty? A bit of poison on my blade, and let's go!
Thank you. Thank you for getting us out of there.
Those Inquisitors are completely mad. They tortured us. They wanted us to admit to all manner of horrors. Stories of some demonic cult and curses of Malachor. I was of the firm belief that they were going to kill us. But you must make haste. They are planning some sort of wickedness.
They spoke of a great purification. And after that, they did this to us. It doesn't bode well. Not at all. I heard them talking about their headquarters near the palace. Maybe you'll learn something there of interest. Thank you again for freeing us. We'll be able to make it back to port on our own.
We need to discover what is behind this talk of purification before they can execute their plan. Taking into consideration what we learned in the warehouse, it will not be difficult to convince the Mother Cardinal to intervene.
See if you can ward off this feint!
We must meet with the Mother Cardinal urgently. Only she can put an end to this madness.
Yes?
I would like to have an audience with the Mother Cardinal to discuss the discoveries made during our investigation.
What is this about, Domitius?
Well, I don't rightly know.
I caught wind of a ridiculous scheme planned for the port by the Ordo Luminis, and I wanted to clear it up. I was able to get my hand on documents that effectively detailed an attack. A great purification. They were signed by you, Father, and included a contract where you enlisted the assistance of the Coin Guard to attack every Naught building and make prisoner of every one of their men that could be taken alive.
Domitius, how could you? Whatever did you want to accomplish?
The Nauts are not believers. We should not be dependent on heretics.
Have you gone completely mad, Domitius? We are on an island. How could we not be dependent on the Nauts? I want them arrested. Him and every member of his order. I will decide at a later time their fate. I thank you for bringing this business to my attention. Going after the Nauts. What madness. Without you, this city would now be drowning in chaos. Carry my best wishes to your cousin. His desire to maintain the peace on the island honors his house's reputation.
I will tell him, Your Eminence. Until we meet again.
I must go. I am expected somewhere.
Desarde, what can I do for you?
I've settled the problem in San Mateos. Several of your men were imprisoned by the Ordo Luminous. The misguided brothers planned to attack the port. I had them arrested. They should no longer be a threat to you. The Order thought you to be heretics because of your tradition of secrecy.
The secrets. They often cut both ways. Therefore, I'm going to reveal to you another. We discovered this island nearly 2 centuries ago. A few decades later, we sold the discovery to your nation of merchants. Then, our closest allies. We transported some lords, men, and merchandise. They began to colonize the island. The lords revealed themselves to possess a tyrannical nature, and began to exploit the lands with a deadly passion. Their actions provoked a revolt of the natives, but also the very workers and craftsmen they had brought with them. The magic of the natives of Tir-Fadi was awoken. Beasts came out of the woods and destroyed the new cities. Only a handful of lords and armed men were able to make it back to our ships. The losses were enormous. The humiliation, devastating. Your princes paid us well to keep their secret. They continued to make the occasional expedition. You are, in fact, a product of one of them.
What are you saying?
You must have had your doubts. You are the child of a native. You were born on one of our ships.
The child of an islander? But I know who my mother is, and...
I understand how difficult this is to hear. And I wouldn't know why your family has kept this from you all this time. In the end, we decided to sell the secret location of the island to other nations. The congregation, in spite of its fears, could not keep away. And here you are again. I am sorry for the shock I have caused you. You asked me for the truth, and now you have it. Anything else?
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral. I can't believe it. That for all this time, I've been fed lies. Did Constantine know? I must go and see him.
I understand you may be sad because you were lied to. But do not be sad about who you are. We are a proud people.
Come closer,
I'm
good
glad
people.
to know that you are one of us.